You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Good morning. This is Yvonne Cooper, Empire State Development's Corporate Secretary. I'd like to welcome everyone to this morning's meeting. Before we formally begin, I would ask that everyone please mute your lines unless you're speaking. We'll begin today by taking a roll call of the directors to ensure we have a quorum present on the line. Please be so kind as to say present when we call your name. Kevin Eunice.
Present.
Paul Tronalone.
Present.
Edward Lee.
Present.
Thank you all so much for joining today. Chairman Lee, you are ready to begin.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. I now call to order the meeting of the directors of the Empire State New Market Corporation for Thursday, January 6th, 2022. I'd like to note for the record that I will be the acting chair for today's meeting. Before we get started, I would ask that everyone please mute their phone until they are ready to speak. Also, I will ask that anyone wishing to speak, please be sure to state your name before you begin. I'd like to note for the record that in accordance with recent legislation, this meeting will be conducted by teleconference. I will also note for the record that the public was given the opportunity to comment on the agenda items by submitting their written comments by 4:30 p.m. yesterday. I'd like to state for the record that no comments were received from the public concerning today's agenda items. The directors have received the relevant written materials in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the items on the agenda. If so, I would ask you please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will then be sure that you may recuse yourselves from the discussion or vote with regard to such item or items. Hearing none, the first item on today's agenda is the approval of the minutes of the March 18, 2021 directors meeting. I'd like to remind everyone to please state your name before speaking. Are there any questions, comments, additions, or deletions? If not, I will entertain a motion for approval.
Move. Eunice.
Sorry.
Paul Tronalone, second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. I would now like to call upon John Evan Hornsby to present the final item on today's agenda, which relates to a request for authorization to sign and file a calendar year 2021 new market tax credit allocation application. John Evan.
Thank you. Thanks, Edwin, and good morning, all. This is a request for authorization to sign and file 2021 New Markets Tax Credit Allocation application and to take related actions. Empire State New Market Corporation is the subsidiary of ESD responsible for managing the state's New Markets tax credit effort and was created to support ESD's effort to promote economic development, job creation, and private sector investment to grow and expand businesses across New York State. Incorporated in 2004 for the purpose of applying for an allocation of NMTCs from the Community Development Financial Institutions Fund, ESNMC has received 2 allocations of NMTCs to date totaling $85 million, a $30 million allocation in the 2009 round, and a $55 million allocation in the 2015-2016 round. The $30 million 2009 NMTC award was deployed into 2 projects, an expansion project for the Greek yogurt company Chobani and the Green Manufacturing and Design Center project at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. The $55 million 2015-2016 NMTC award was fully deployed at the end of 2019. And with that award, ESNMC financed 12 projects in 7 New York State regions. The projects included the National Comedy Center, SUNY Broome Culinary Arts Center, Hornell Medical Center, the Boys and Girls Club of Schenectady, Courier Plastics, and Chautauqua Center, among others. ESNMC continues to service the closed transactions. ESNMC now intends to apply for a new 3rd allocation of NMTCs and submit its allocation application to the CDFI Fund requesting a 2021 round allocation of up to $55 million on or before January 13th, 2022. The application reflects ESNMC's strategy, past successful projects, potential future projects, ongoing management capacity, and other related ESNMC experience to enhance its qualifications to obtain a new allocation of NMTCs. ESNMC staff has worked closely with ESNMC's NMTC consultant, Rise Community Capital, to prepare the application. I would like to note that on December 17, 2021, ESNMC received approval from its advisory board to move forward with the NMTC application based on the strategy and preliminary pipeline. The directors are requested to approve the authorization to sign and file a 2021 NMTC allocation application and direct and authorize me, John Evan Hornsby, as authorized representative of the ESNMC, to act in connection with the allocation application and to provide such additional information as may be required. Thank you, and I'll take any questions.
Thanks, John Evan. Any questions or comments from the directors?
Hey, it's Kevin. John Evan, is the round we're applying to, is this a relatively, is it an increase of available credit or allocation? Is it from a federal perspective? Is there more available through this round than previous rounds?
Yeah, good question, Kevin. So last year was the first time it actually increased to $5 billion. Previous to that was 3.5. The New Market Tax Credit Program isn't permitted tax code yet. It's been extended. In December of 2020, it was extended for an additional 5 years through December 31st, 2025. So there will be $5 billion available each year until it's expired in 2025, unless it's extended.
Got it. So annual opportunities to apply.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely.
Thanks.
And John Evan, this is Paul Tronnell. What's the timing on the application if it goes in on the 13th? When do we hear back?
Yeah. Also, great question, Paul. So yeah, if we'll submit our application next week, next Thursday, as I mentioned, and then we expect the applications to be reviewed by the CDFI Fund through the second quarter of 2022. And announcements will probably be made around the summer of 2022. So, yeah, probably around 7 to 8 months from now.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions or comments? As noted earlier, we do not have any comments from the public. I will now entertain a motion for approval.
So moved, Kevin.
And seconded by Tronnell.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. I want to thank everyone for your participation in today's meeting. Now there being no further business, I will call for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Tron alone, so moved.
Thank you, Paul.
Second.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. Take care.
Thank
New Year.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.